Are we live? It says we're live. Let's see if it actually. I'm waiting for the YouTube thingy to catch up to see if we're actually live.
Yeah. I have not gotten the yet, so I don't think so.
Are we live? We're live. It says we're live. Uh-oh. We are live. I'm alive. Barely. Oh, let me turn a light on in here. Think about it.
There it is. Here's your boop doop saying that we're live.
Oh, sorry about that, everyone. Hello, good morning. Welcome to today's live stream. For those who don't know, my name is Sky. I write urban fantasy under the name SD Haggis, and today I have Amy joining me live and in person.
Hello, everyone. My name is Amy Nobody. I'm a freelance writer working on my SEO certification, and I've been joining Sky for these write-ins because I'm working on my very first ever fiction project. So I'm struggling my way through my first fiction project is probably the better way to say it. And I don't use social media, so I don't have anything to share, and I don't have any published works to share, so I'm just glad to be here.
She'll get there eventually, guys. She'll get there eventually. It looks like we already have people joining us in the comments. We have author D.L. Tillery and Alina. Yay, hello.
I was just thinking about you, Alina, because every time I say I don't have social media, you remind me how important it is to start setting up my author platform. So thank you for your consistent good advice. I'm just thinking about you.
So I made a discovery that I will have a video on soon. So I'm not going to say anything right now. I'll tell you off stream.
Okay.
But it hurts so much. I'm just like, oh
no.
But it deals with social media. And I'm just like, oh,
okay.
God. It just irritates me. She said, glad to help. So we're going to be doing some write-ins today. What is everyone else working on today? I am still working on Damned and Dangerous. I don't even have it open yet. I just restarted my computer at like 9 a.m. this morning. That's not quite true, but it feels like it. So, yeah, there's that. Let's see. Let's open Scrivener.
I'm still working on my, I don't have a title for it yet, but it deals a lot with luck. So I'm just calling it 777 for now as a working title. I'm still working on my 777 rough draft, which I was hoping to finish by the end of the year, but there is absolutely no way that I will. So I'm really bummed out about that. But after a nice pep talk from Sky yesterday, I feel a little bit better about it. So I'm just telling myself I might not make my goal, but as long as I work towards it every day, I can excuse my not meeting the goal because I still put in the effort. So I'm working on 777.
And I'm waiting for Scrivener to open because it's being a brat. Oh, never mind. I know why it's being a brat. Scrivener will stop working after 19 days of use unless you buy it a license. Try. I'm on the back still, and I have not. I
repurchased Scrivener.
Well, I'm not even certain if I have to repurchase it because I already have a license for it, but I have the license for the PC version. I don't know if they're transferable. So I
don't think they are.
I have to play around with that and see. I don't know. We'll figure it out. I'm just using the trial until it tells me I can't use the trial anymore. All right. DL is working on editing blurbs, editing completed novel, and Alina's working on book 4 of her Just Don't novella series that she just started yesterday. She's released book 1, and I think book 2 comes out very soon because she's doing rapid release with these.
Nice.
Amazon decided to tell me that she just released another book. I was like, yay!
I can't lie. I kind of appreciate how much these websites tell you stuff like that, like birthdays and, oh, by the way, did you know this? And stuff like that.
I'm spoiled.
I know, I didn't. Thank you. I hate being dependent on them to tell me that kind of stuff. I would like to get my act together, but
I mean, I have
in the meantime,
birthdays written down, but at the same time, it's still helpful to have that little reminder.
Yeah. I do good with the people who I buy gifts for, but there are a couple people, like my best friend's mother, who is basically my second mother, and I cannot for the life of me remember her birthday. Never, ever, ever do I remember her birthday. And I've been celebrating her birthday with her for 20 years now. You know what I mean? Like, still on the day of, I'm like, I didn't buy her a But it's because she's one of those people who, besides, like maybe going out to dinner, she doesn't really celebrate her birthday. And I'm like, that's why, right there. You did this, not me.
Arlena says book 1 and 2 are out, and book 3 will come out December 28th. So only a couple more days. Yeah, I figured it wouldn't work for Mac. I can dream. I can dream.
You got your NaNoWriMo code though, so it's only going to be $25.
Yeah, there is that. I will say this: I am loving Scribd 3. Mm-hmm. I cannot wait until it comes out for Windows because I think you'll love it too. It will help with the deadline stuff. Because I don't know about everyone else, but personally, I work better when I can see that deadline and know how much I have to write each day in order to hit that deadline. It's definitely helping. The other thing is helping, and I hate to admit this. Oh, someone posted something on Facebook the other day, and I hate it so much. I don't know if I shared it to you. It was about the fact if you want to get more writing done, or if you're feeling stuck, or anything like that, switch your type font to Comic Sans. I hate even saying that out loud.
The horror. You're professionals, damn it.
Oh, I'm such a professional. I'm using Comic Sans right now. But since switching to Comic Sans, I am hitting my word counts every single day.
Did they offer an explanation for why Comic Sans would be better?
Something there was. I'll have to read back through it because I can't remember. It was not one of those that really made much sense to me, but I was like, screw it, let's try it. But in 2.5 hours, I got over 3K words written, and I've never done that before.
And are you sure it's because of Comic Sans and not because of you rewriting the story for the 3rd time?
Well, it was completely new scenes.
Okay,
so I'm going to blame Comic Sans. I'm going to blame Comic Sans. We'll just pretend even if it's not the case. And I say that, and I used to use Comic Sans all the time when I was in high school. Mm-hmm. Before I knew it was like one of those things you're not supposed to do. And don't worry for anyone who's like, no, I'm not sending it to my editor in Comic Sans. When I compile it from Scrivener into a Word document to send to an editor, it will be in Times New Roman. It's literally just for me.
It's okay.
It's okay. Breathe. But I'm finding it's working. And that's really all I care about right now.
I use Courier on pretty much everything. Even my emails, if you notice, even my emails are in Courier font.
My favorite font is Bookman Old Style, I think is what it's called. But Scrivener does not have that. Mm. And while you can add fonts, I haven't even tried.
Yeah.
So when I publish my works, they'll be in Bookman Old Style because I like Bookman Old Style. Screw it, why not? But for writing purposes, at least for right now, I'm using Comic Sans. I hate even saying that, man. It just sounds so bad. All right, so let's do some writing sprints. We're going to start our first sprint at 15 after, so in about 5 more minutes.
Sounds good.
Oh,
that'll give me a chance to respond to the text message I have not responded to yet. I go to bed at I get up at 5 in the morning.
Oh,
and my sleeping in is at night, not even at 7, because the dogs and the animals are ready to go, and they get me out of bed before 7 because they're waiting for me at 5 in the morning. Open the door, it's potty time. So even on the weekends, I barely get to sleep in past 7, but I'm starting to get sick. So I actually slept in until after 9 today, which was unbelievable. But apparently so did everybody else in the house, and that's the only reason why. But people send me text messages at 9:15 or 10:15 at night because most normal people go to bed, ballpark 10. And I'm like, I've already been asleep for an hour and 45 minutes when you send me that text message. I'm sorry I didn't respond. You sent it to me at 10:15. I've already been asleep since 8:30. So every once in a while, I have to explain to people my grown-up schedule.
My grown-up schedule is non-existent.
I disagree. You've got one hell of a grown-up schedule because you have to meet the demands of being a mother around your 3rd shift schedule, and you always do.
The worst part is I'm not even 3rd shift anymore, and that's the worst part. since
Oh,
working
yeah?
second shift.
Oh, yeah, you're on second now, huh?
I'd rather be on third.
Yeah.
That'd make things so much easier. All right, Scrivener finally opened, I think. I don't see it. Why is it not? Oh, it's open. Yeah, it's open. There it is. Okay. I am, let's see, where am I at with this project? Not writing history. Show project targets. There we go. I am, out of 60K, I'm sitting at 37,466 words right now. And I'm 3/4 of the way done with it. I will finish. I am set to finish by December 31st. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 chapters left to write. 9 chapters. 9 days to write 9 chapters. I got this.
Yeah, that's not bad.
I can do this.
You can. I can't even seem to manage a scene a day, which is very upsetting.
It's all good. You've got other things going on too.
Yeah. You know all that stuff that we're not going to say because this is YouTube.
Life happens even when you're live.
Even when you're live, yeah. I did kind of forget that until you pointed that out. I didn't forget that because I'm constantly at war in my mind. Like, I need to do this, but I want so badly to follow through with my writing. And I'm turning into, the freelance writing and the SEO and everything like that requires me to sit down in front of the computer. I cannot multitask while I do this stuff. So everything else has to wait. And, and my brain never shuts off. So it's to the point where people are like trying to talk to me while I'm cooking dinner and I don't hear anything they say to me because I'm still trying to finish this scene in my head. But you reminded me that I am making consistent progress. I have not met that goal that I'm working towards so hard, but I am making progress, and that's okay.
Yep.
And until you reminded me of all the progress that I made, all I could think was that I'm not going to make that thing that I've been working towards. So,
quick pro tip right before we start this writing, or sprint, I mean. One of the things that she's talking about was the fact that she feels like she's not hitting her goals. And I was like, but look at all the other things you've accomplished this year. And she had to basically sit there and think about everything she's done this year. Because trust me, I've had to do it too. I was like, I haven't done shit this year. And then all of a sudden I came up with a list of like 36 things. I'm like, okay, I did the thing. So
yeah, I still haven't sat down and made that list because until you pointed all that stuff out yesterday, every time I tried, I was like, I don't know
where I put my list. I might have to rewrite it. But yeah, so if you think you haven't accomplished anything, sit down and actually write down a list of all the little things throughout the year that you've done that you were like, yes, I did the thing. Because trust me, there's a lot more on that list than you think there is. But it is 10:15. We're going to go ahead and start this first sprint. 20 minutes, starting now.
Are we muted?
Mm-mm. Do you need me to mute it?
Yeah.
Okay, give me a second. Do, do, do. All right, and that is time. How did everybody else do? Because we've discussed that we are not getting as much done as we would like to, but I'm going to finish this sentence real quick.
I don't want to do the math in my head, but I had 442 when I started, and now I'm at 745. So I think I did 303.
300 something. I can't do math in my head. Don't even ask.
Yeah, so just a smidge over 300.
Hi, Sarah. Hopefully you see this before you disappear. Alina did 571, and Amy said, I made breakfast. I don't blame you. The reason I got up and left was because my mom came here during the ride and sprint. She had texted Amy, and as Amy was reading it to me, there was a knock on the door. That's why I was like, someone's here. And it turned out it was her. She was asking us what we wanted for lunch. So we're going to get lunch soon. I got to text her and let her know what we want, but still. It's not the point. I did.
Yeah, life happens when you're live.
Life happens when you're live.
You've got to put that on the banner on your YouTube
I have
channel.
got to.
You got to do it. Life happens when you're live.
I got to make a new banner soon anyways that deals with what I got to tell you. So.
Okay.
Yeah. So I wrote 505 words. I'm telling you, Comic Sans, man. Even with all the distractions, I wrote 505 words.
Damn.
I'm telling you, Comic Sans. I hate it so much. I hate it.
I am not Comic Sans.
So here's what I hate most about it. I do a lot of italics because of inner monologue, and if there's any kind of in shifters and mages, when they're in animal form and they're speaking to each other, it's all in italics. So I use italics a lot. And Comic Sans does not have italics. It drives me up a wall.
Oh man.
Because it's already shifted.
Uh-huh.
So
yeah,
I have to put everything in bold, and that bothers me so much. I think that's the worst part about it.
You have to go back and translate it back when you put it in another font.
Yeah, it bothers me so much.
Yeah.
Let's see. DL wrote another blurb, 224 words of that.
Nice.
Edit. On the next sprint, editing.
Sweet. So I have an amateur question. I have noticed that part of what is taking me so long, or when are we going to start our next sprint? 20, 25?
It's 38 now. We'll do it. We'll decide after you talk about your question.
Okay, probably 25. It'll take me a minute to say it. Excuse me. But I have noticed that part of what is taking me so long is that even though my outline is so detailed that I know exactly what's going to happen, like you've seen my outline, some of my longer scenes, I have like 50 bullet points where I know exactly who's going to talk to who, when, and all this stuff. But I've discovered that part of the reason that I'm so slow at it, and I'm hoping I will outgrow this, and I was wondering if anybody else suffers from it, is I can read that bullet, but it's a generic one sentence that says, so-and-so will see the person out the window, and they have to tell everybody. And then in my mind, I have to take that sentence, expand it as to what will happen. Will they see them? Will anybody have their back turned? Blah, 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 blah. And then I have to actually say, okay, what words would I use to describe that action? And then I write it. So that one bullet point actually takes me like a good 10 or 15 minutes to get it all to the point where I can write it out. And I'm realizing that's what's taking me so long. And I'm hoping that this will get better as time goes by. Does it? Does that get easier to do in your experience? You're a pantser too, so it's a little bit different for you. Is anybody else in the chat a plotter where you've got detailed outlines before you sit down?
It's not me. Well, actually, it might have been me because I was responding to a group message. And I'm a bit of a plotzer because I usually outline. I have basically a blurb for each chapter, sort of like I say this is what I want to happen in this chapter, kind of thing.
Basic progression of your plot points, not so much details like interaction and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I don't really detail much though.
Okay.
So I don't usually have that issue. But I have noticed that over time, I do get faster with even just the basic plot stuff. So, yeah.
Yeah, it took me a good year to make that outline. That was one of the things that you put in perspective for me that I didn't really think about it that way. But my outline is so detailed because I put so much work into it that, I've only picked up so far. I want to say I'm 3/4 of the way done with it. And I've only found 3 plot holes that I did not catch in my outlining. And I did not catch them, but I did, they were easy fixes. I was able to just go, okay, well, if that happens now, if I connect it to that happens later on, it's not a plot hole, it's just a teaser.
Uh-huh.
So I've only found 3 little plot hole problems, and I was able to easily fix them all. And but I all of that is so different than what I'm going through right now because my brain has never had to do this before. My brain, like I've said before on the other streams, I've done mostly expository writing, which is information and explanation and that direction, that kind of thing. So my brain takes it all in, rearranges it, and then spits it all out. And my brain has to take in and rearrange and spit out all its own information. And I've noticed it's hard, it takes me, it's a 3-step process. I have to see the bullet point, imagine it, explain it in my mind, and then try to put words to it. And I wanted to know if anybody else is suffering through this because I'm hoping that it's just a side effect of being a plotter. That because it's so detailed, you've got the plot and everything so well laid out, that I think it's actually helping me. I couldn't imagine pantsing. I can't do it. And you're saying plotsing, because you do put a little bit of effort into the outlining process, stuff like that, but you enjoy when it comes time to actually write, letting it flow out. And I'm the opposite. I'm like, no.
Do what you're supposed to be doing, characters.
I know, right? Yeah. I think that's part of the reason why my dialogue is so bad, though. I think I'm going to go back through when I do my rewrites. I think I'm going to go back through and work on my purple prose, and then come back through and try to work on my dialogue, because my dialogue is weak. And I've noticed I have 5 or 6 scenes where really important things happen, and there is 0 dialogue.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, 0. None whatsoever. And 3 of those scenes, it is one person with no one else to be talking to anyways. So
but there could be like some inner monologue going on, basically.
Yeah, maybe. Well, my stuff is written in the 3rd person omniscient or whatever it is. I don't have any.
Okay, so
any internal dialogue.
In
conversations.
In the comments, DL said that they're a plotter. My outline is 3 acts, so the beginning, middle, end. I lead with the chapters, then put the plots down the line of that chapter, let's say. I put a note next to each plot so I recall what needs to go in. I don't do all the details in the first draft, so something like that I would add after the fact, possibly so I didn't have that issue per se.
Mm-hmm.
And then Amy Tascata was like, yeah, I could not pants at all. I have to have all the details there. Like all the details.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, when I say all the details, I mean
down to the thought process.
Pretty much. The only thing I did not put in my outline was the actual dialogue when it needed to be, and maybe like physical description of a character just for the sake of keeping the outline reasonable, being able to look at one page.
Mm-hmm. See, that's all the stuff I don't do.
Yeah.
I literally put like, let's look at one of my chapters actually. So let's look at the chapter I'm on actually. Let's see,
okay.
What does it say? And actually my chapter descriptions have gotten a little longer. It says, while at work, Michelle comes in and asks if the 2 of them can have lunch together. Sorsha agrees, and they go down to a small cafe. Michelle's soft-spoken and doesn't seem to have a lot to say. Michelle's a brand new character, which is why I was putting those details there. But she's eager to listen to Sorsha talk about Lars. She admits her cousin hasn't spoken to them much since moving out. She assures Sorsha it's not a bad thing, but if it was just something they weren't used to because they've always been stuck around one another. By the end of their lunch, Sorsha invites Michelle and Lars' other cousins to the New Year's Eve party she's hosting. That's literally how I do my chapters. That's my outline process, and I do that for each chapter.
Okay.
It's just the bulk of what's going to happen.
One paragraph in my head. Each one of those would have been a bullet for me. Each sentence would have been a bullet for me, and they would have probably had a little bit more, a little bit more context. But that's because I plot. I mean, that's a lot of plotting effort for a pantser like you. So that's good. And it's one of those things, I know it's whatever works. I know I'm a plotter. And I think, honestly, like I'm saying, it's just an amateur thing. This is my first time ever doing this. And my brain barely knows what to do.
Okay, Toxica says, that's exactly like me, but sometimes if there's a specific dialogue, I stick it in the outline as well. Or else she says stick it in too, but I'm pretty certain she's talking about her outline. And DL said, I put all my dialogue in the first draft, so it's not in the outline.
Okay.
So, sounds like that is, I will install updates later as computer. Thank you for reminding me, though. But yeah, it sounds like they go through similar, not exactly the same.
Yeah.
And they're plotters. I think Alina's a plotter too. Not positive about that. Don't quote me. All right, but it is 10:46, so we're gonna run a minute later than we were originally planning. It's 10:46 here. Everyone else is in a different time zone, it seems. So let's go ahead and throw another 20-minute sprint starting now. Actually, I'm going to text my mom. Did you already let her know what you wanted?
Oh, no, I didn't.
That's what I'm doing first.
Where is she going?
Subway, sounds like.
Are the girls going to get Subway too, do you think?
Delete it.
The last thing that I said to her was,
Hold on a second.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
You mute it. And that is time.
I got 141 words.
I have to do math.
If you don't count the 50-word text, it took me a good 5 minutes to compose. This energy drink is not doing its job. I have a caffeine sensitivity, so you'd think it would kick in. But I think I'm starting to get sick, so it's not.
I did 204 words.
Mhm.
Most of that in like 5 minutes time. Because again, just like you did, I had to write
Yeah.
a text message to my mom, and yeah. How did everyone else do? Maybe you guys did better than we did.
I hope so. I don't doubt it. They sound like they're all kicking ass on stuff.
Mm-hmm.
She responded back with a winky face. Now I'm like, damn it, I don't have the right combination.
Okay, let's see. Tasakata said, editing, don't count words during editing. More time working novel. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
DL Tillery. I've got to look up their channel later. I don't know who that is. I feel like I should know who that is. I've seen them in other writing chats. But edited 2 of the blurbs. They're ready to go to the cover artist.
Ooh.
Awesome. Congrats to both of you. And I'm pretty certain I know which novel Amy Tasakata is editing. She's editing, I don't remember what it's called. It's the last of her current series, her Yakuza series right now.
Mm-hmm.
If it's the one I think it is.
Yeah, but
She was doing 5K a day to write it, the first draft.
Yeah.
It was like 5K in 2 weeks, something like that. She completed it. So I think that's the one she's editing. I think. Am I right? Is that the one you're editing? Now I'm going to actually ask. I've been guessing here, but I'm going to ask now. We'll do the next sprint in another couple minutes. Flowers of Flesh and Blood. Yes, that's what she's working on.
Awesome. A bunch of professionals up in here, and I can barely word.
What are words? What are words?
Every time somebody says that, I imagine that. I can't remember what movie it's from, but I'm pretty sure it's animated, and that one is like, what a world! What a world! And every time I'm like, what are words? What are words?
The best part is the way I spell it, because I put what is W-U-T, and then for the word R, I put the letter R. And words is W-U-R-D-Z.
Words.
What are words?
Wake up. The bad part is I'm awake. I'm just kind of like, no.
Can't brain today.
I can't brain today.
I can brain, barely.
I better start braining. I had a whole fucking energy drink.
Yeah, you finished off yours. I'm still on Pepsi glass number 1, and I'm halfway through that. But to be fair, I went to bed around 2, woke up at 7.
You have been up longer than me for sure. Your brain is already better at this.
5 hours of sleep, yo. 5 hours of sleep. I know Amy Tasakata writes Japanese the Yakuza is Japanese mafia.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not certain what DL writes genre-wise. I'm working on urban fantasy. We'll just call it that.
Yeah.
What would you label yours as? Fantasy?
That's what I've been calling it so far. I know it's fantasy. I don't know if it's
a subgenre.
Yeah, if it qualifies as subgenre.
Yeah.
It's about if all the gods from mythology were
of various pantheons, because
yes,
you can't spell pantheons, right?
They're all alive and well, but they're not in. They don't have their own body. They have to take over other people's bodies, and that complicates things. And that's one of the major parts of my story.
You're fucking up my life, God.
I know, right? So a fantasy, but I don't know what subgenre that might fall under.
Is it modern time?
Yeah.
Probably urban fantasy then.
Yeah.
That's what I would call it. To me, urban fantasy is
Current.
Monsters in modern times, usually in an urban setting, which so means cities and stuff like that. And I say that, and all my stuff is classified as urban fantasy, but it takes place in like small towns. So technically it's rural fantasy, but that's not really a thing. So urban fantasy it is. At least that's what I consider my stuff.
Yeah. I thought urban fantasy meant current time fantasy. Like if this story could be happening in the house next door to you today, now, yeah. Urban fantasy. That's what I thought it meant.
Yeah. Angelic. Okay, so DL is working on blurbs for Angelic series, which is the work in progress, but I have cover art already, so stepping out of my process.
Woohoo!
That's the way I work. I have cover art for like 20. I have 22 covers right now. I'm waiting on 5 more covers, so I'll have 26.
You are a cover art fiend.
I may have a little bit of addiction. May. To be fair, the first draft is written for 1, 2.
You've done the math before. You have the first draft written for like 18 of those 26 covers, don't you?
Mm-mm.
Or you have something.
I have outlines for 18 something. I have outlines for a lot of them.
Yeah.
So it's not like I don't have plans for them.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Yeah, 20. I have 21 covers. I lied. Yeah, that would be right. 21 covers, 26 because I'm waiting on the 5 for the books that are written. So I have at least first drafts written for 5, 6. This would make 7 when I finish this one. 8, 9 books. So I have first drafts written for 9 of the 26. And I have outlines written for most of the rest.
Yeah, like
because a lot of them are like
20, I remember.
So the book I'm working on now is the first in a trilogy. I have covers for all 3. I have outlines written for all 3. So yeah.
That's a reasonable amount of effort to have put into already by cover art.
Cinnamon Altoids are awesome.
Mm-hmm.
But slightly spicy.
The best.
Okay. Talsicata gets cover art close to last. Get the blurb after the rough draft. See, I start with blurbs. I'm weird.
I've never had to write. Well, actually, I've had to write blurbs. I've never had to write blurbs for my own work.
I have a first draft blurb before I ever write an outline.
Yeah.
I've shared some of my blurbs with you guys.
You've shared them with us and asked, how does this sound? Do we tweak these words, that sentence, that kind of thing?
And see, those were ones I wrote. The ones I shared with you guys were ones I wrote before the stories were ever written.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just tweaked them for the final result, basically.
Yeah. One of the good things about blurbs is that you don't have to actually have the whole story. Mm-hmm. You have to have basically like the first half of the story.
Mm-hmm.
An introduction and some things that happen to pique your interest to lead you to the end.
Yep.
So that is kind of,
yep.
the first thing that you think of in the writing process.
Yeah, when I think
you follow through by writing the blurb.
Let's see. When I think about my writing process, if I think about the way it seems to be working out right now, it's not really a process. I seem to have blurb, cover, outline, writing.
And whenever you get a really good deal on your cover, it goes cover, blurb, outline,
cover. Yeah. Or in a most recent case,
yep.
I bought a cover for one story idea, and the more I outlined that story idea, the less that cover actually worked for it. But rather than some authors I know, if they get permission from the cover artist, they resell I buy a lot of pre-mades. I do custom covers as well, but I buy a lot of pre-mades because I like them and they're pretty, and I was like, I have a story idea for that. But in this particular case, the more I wrote the outline for this story, the cover art no longer fit the story. So what I did instead, some artists I know resell their cover art with permission from the cover artist. And I just saw another cover that fits that the outline perfectly. I was like, I'm going to get that. And I just came up with another story idea for the cover, the original cover I bought. It'll work out the same.
I'm going to make it work.
I'm going to make it work, dang it.
I honestly have barely put any thought into any of that stuff. This is my first time ever working on a fiction work. I have no idea what to do after. I mean, I have an idea, but I have no idea what my actual next step will be after I finish this.
You don't have a
Besides-
writing process yet. You're working on your writing process
Right?
as you work.
Yeah. So,
And see-
because I know I'm going to have to.
Ow.
I want to be one of those people who manages to get away with all of this without having to set up a social media presence. I'm not going to lie. I don't do it in real life. I don't do it, and I'm not interested in doing it just for my writing. But I am completely aware of how wrong I am in thinking that, and how not very likely I am to succeed. So I've got a plan of what to do if and when the time comes. But what would my natural's next step be? Rewrite it, edit it a couple of times, once or twice on my own, work on my purple prose, maybe get a beta reader or 2 or 5, and then send it to the editor so that they can actually do professional editing job. And then, I mean, if I don't take the time to set up my online presence, I don't need to worry about starting the marketing and that kind of stuff for it.
Mm-hmm.
At some point, I'll have to acquire a cover.
Yeah. So we have it 2 minutes before the next sprint, I figure.
Okay.
So I'll read through the comments. Let's see. But okay, so last thing I said was blurbs for Angelic series. Okay, DL continues saying, I recently finished my paranormal romance book 1 for Chronicles of Cagliostro. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. I'm bad with words, apparently, which I am editing. Toxicata says, oh, well, I get the cover art close to last, which I said that. And so does DL. It works out. DL said, I did 3 blurbs for a book series that doesn't have an outline. It's crazy for me because I never, ever do that. However, I have the entire book series in my head. Toxicata said, outline, rough draft, blurb, edit, beta 1, edit, send to professional editor, edit if I have time, print and edit. Then beta 2, edit, send to professional proof editor, edit for those mistakes, then pub. That's a lot of steps. I don't have that.
Makes sense, though.
I have usually blurb, which I'll tweak several times until I'm satisfied with. Outline, draft, 1 to 3 self edits depending on how I feel about the story. Beta readers, professional editor, clean up that professional edit, publish. I don't even send to a proofreader. I am the final proofreader. Meh. Whatever works.
May not be the best plan, but it's my plan.
Yeah.
Damn it.
And let's face it, I haven't even gotten through like 3/4 of that plan yet because I'm not to that point.
Yeah.
I was originally with a publishing company. So, yeah. DL said, I'll read what DL said, and then we'll go ahead and do the next sprint. Apparently, I need to open my timer again. It says, steps before outlining. Go away. Sorry, it was an email. Steps before outlining, rough draft, blurb, edit, beta 1, edit, beta, edit, send to editor, re-edit, may revise, back to editors, promo publishing.
Okay.
That's, again, a lot of steps, man.
I am noticing, though, that everybody seems to agree that your beta readers come before your final edit, that you pay them a real professional to go through and fix it.
Mostly because editors are expensive.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to do that more than once or twice.
Yeah.
If you can help it. I have a really good editor, and she is a lot cheaper than I've seen other editors. But at the same time, it's still costly.
Yeah. And I've got to start getting ready for that, too.
Yay! Editing. Woo! But that's why I do so many self-edits before I send to a professional editor, is so I don't have to pay those costs once. But anyways, it is 11. It's 21 after, so let's go ahead and do the next sprint now. Feeling a little warm in here, so I'm thinking it's the hat making me sweat, and that's what's making my head itch. So I'm gonna switch antlers. All right, that is time. But I'm going to finish up the sentence real quick.
Me too. Okay. I think I did a little over 500. I was at 740 something, and now I'm at 1363. So like 520, something like that.
Okay. I wrote 645 words.
Woohoo!
I have to do math every time because with the way it's working, it changes my target whenever I clear it. So I just leave it now,
Yeah.
or at least for now. Oh, how did everyone else do? Let's see. Some people probably started commenting. Let's see. DL finished last 2 blurbs. They're ready to go. Yay!
Right. Get ready, cover artist.
Alina switched to proofing book 3, was too tired to write.
Mm.
But she lives in Romania, and it's like late. So that is not too bad. Go to bed. Sleepy time. Let's see. She got a couple of chapters done, and then Amy Tascata said almost at the end of page 2, editing. So she's editing chapter 1 of her book right now.
Nice.
Yay!
Ooh,
All
not
the
bad for
stuff.
2 hours morning work.
Yeah, not bad at all. Let's see. I've written a total of, 1,354 words today, which is not bad. Halfway to goal.
Yeah.
A little more than halfway to goal, actually.
Mhm.
So we're good there. Woo! I'll make goal today. At some point.
Mm.
At some point. It is a quarter till here, though. I don't know where we went wrong, because usually we can fit in 4 sprints. Do we want to do another sprint? Anyone else want to do another sprint? Do you want to do another sprint?
I'm okay with that.
We're basically waiting for my mom to get here so we can do another sprint.
Okay.
She's bringing us lunch. She likes us. Alina says she's in for another sprint.
Okay.
We can do another sprint. We can do the next one.
Nowish.
Nowish. We can do another 20-minute sprint.
Okay, one more sprint.
2 people
sprint,
in.
Sprint.
All right, let me get my timer up then. And we'll do another sprint. We're going to be weird because we're going to do, instead of waiting, we're going to do it. Oh, shoot.
Another
Talking
20
mushrooms.
or another 15?
Do we want to do a 20 or 15? Let's do another 20.
Okay.
All right, and we'll start now. Sorry, anyone who wanted to wait. Oops.
I just realized something that I didn't even know. Water in my stories is always like a great big neutralizer. I've realized it in my other 2 things because I've heard those TV shows, but water's a big deal in that one too. And then right now I'm like, hey, we can just make water. The rain is a big deal. Boom.
There you go. The things you
Seems to like
discover
that
while
idea. Huh?
the things you discover while writing your own stuff.
I guess.
learn some new things about my character and the town they live in, even though it's Fayetteville. I just created a restaurant. It doesn't really exist.
Sell the books, make so much money that you open that restaurant.
I'm gonna open a restaurant named Ozzy's. Stomach. You'll get fed eventually.
minutes. Somebody's growling too.
They're talking to each other.
Bitches better hurry up!
Feed me. Feed me, Seymour. It must be blood. It must be fresh. For those who don't know, that was a quote from Little Shop of Horrors.
Little Shop of Horrors. Yeah.
I'm not a demon in disguise, even if I'm writing about them. Just saying.
I was trying to think of Gremlins, but I was like,
Bright light, bright light.
Yeah, I
That's all I
couldn't think
got.
of a good one.
If you're new to my channel, I quote stuff all the time. Ugh. And that is time. Do. I finished that sprint. There we go. Not bad. How did everyone else do? How'd you do?
I got 600 words exactly.
I got 672. Congrats.
Thank you, thank you.
All right, let's see what everyone else has done. Let's see. DL said, finished editing 5 pages of Chronicles of Calastro. I'm really sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong, by the way. I did have it right the first time, though. I probably pronounced it wrong this time because I don't think I said it the same way.
All right, I don't feel too bad. I got a little over 1,500 words in these 2 hours that I've been here working on this.
So in 2 hours, even with that second sprint not being a really good sprint, I am at 2,026 words.
Nice. You're only 400, about 470 off of your daily word count.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna do it. Maybe not live, but I'm gonna do it.
Comic Sans for the win.
I hate it so much, but if it's working.
Don't rock the boat. Just keep flowing.
Just gonna keep going. Screw it. Go Comic Sans. I want to change. I'll change you as soon as I'm done
Does
with this
anybody
draft.
else in the chat find something weird like that just helps you with your productivity?
I need to find that meme because it was a picture I found. It was a picture I read. I think I know where it is. Give me a second. I'll see if I can link the picture.
I think you screenshotted in our convo. It might be in the pictures.
Oh, there you go.
I'll look too.
I remember who I originally saw posted it. Go to the profile, dang it. Thank you. Here's weird. Will it show up in their photos? No. Just have to scroll down.
No.
Oh, that is adorable. My mom's sending me pictures. Apparently, the restaurant or somewhere, wherever they went, has some kind of billboard with the facial structure cut out.
Oh.
And she's saying, pictures. That's not the picture I want.
I love to do those things, but I always do funny ones. Yeah.
My girls are reindeer.
Too cute.
My girls are reindeer. Let's see if I can find this picture. And looking. Wait, is that? No, that's not.
I'm not in the comment section, so if anybody responded to it, you can't see it yet.
I'm not looking either since I'm trying to find this picture. And my computer's being a dick. It doesn't want to scroll down. Why are we not scrolling? Scroll.
Oh no, I'll just go into the comment section.
Nope. It's not what I want. Erg. And
we talk so much in that group conversation. There's no telling how far back it is. Even though I feel like you only told us that like last week, maybe the week before.
Okay. This is what the picture says. I found the picture. It says, use Comic Sans to write. And it was one of those taken from Tumblr, so it's got the screen name of the person. It says, I hate this so much, but this knowledge is too powerful to keep from you all. Last night, and it says a username because they tagged someone, discovered that setting your font to Comic Sans in Google Docs improves writing speed and creativity by an insane amount. No, I said, and die. But then I tried it, and God, I wish it wasn't this way. I wish it wasn't true. I wish I could protect you all from this, but it's real. Something about this font is so disarming. Something about this font lets you look past the shape of the words and into their soul. I've never written so much as I did last night on my phone at 2 a.m. in Comic Sans. If you have writer's block, if you lack inspiration, if you need this, don't be afraid to use it. Sometimes the things we find most horrifying are also the things we need the most. Trust me, let Comic Sans into your life. And I was like, screw it, let's try it. And I did.
It might be exactly that we're so used to seeing words in the same 2 or 3 fonts just everywhere in life, you know. Times New Roman is like every written thing everywhere ever. And stuff like that. Maybe it is exactly that. By changing the font and the look of the words, you do see past the letters, I guess.
And
into their soul.
And it's also possible
into
because
your soul.
It's also possible because we're told that this font is not one you should use, that we're just not used to seeing it.
Yeah.
And it's just like you said, it's just like, oh, no.
No. Let it flow.
Let's see. Going back through the chat. Oh dear. Let's see. Alina proofed 2.5 chapters, she thinks. Forgot to check before I started. Amy Tasakata. Got distracted by cat and husband. Started on page 3 of editing. And then there was a lot of back and forth between Tasakata and Tillery about what Tasakata writes, because she writes the Yakuza novels. And MM. Amy Tasakata said, I know for me, I always have to write in Courier New because everything else looks odd.
Me too. Courier. I said that earlier. I use it on everything. I used to do Times on everything, and then when I wrote my first screenplay, I was like, hey, you know, if it's going to end up in courier, write it in courier, because you know it's very strict about the sizes and all that stuff on courier, and it's just stupid to not do it. And I started doing it on that, and then everything else looked weird to me. So I have my Scrivener set on courier. I even set my emails to courier just because once I got used to thinking in courier, it was weird not to.
It was courier for life.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. Well, it's about 12 after noon in our neck of the woods. So I think we're going to wrap this up. We did 4 sprints today. It sounds like everyone's getting places, even if they're not where they want to be and getting distracted. We got distracted too. It's all
Life
good.
happens when you're live.
Life happens even when you're live. So, yeah, I think this is where I wrap up. Is there anything else you wanted to talk about real quick?
No, I'm just happy to be here. I'm making progress. Not going to make my goal, but I'm going to let it go.
Let it go. Let it go.
Just to wrap up, walk out. I'm Amy Nobody. I don't have social media, and I don't use my real name on the internet. My whole name, anyways. Amy is my name. But this is my first fiction work, and I don't have any social media links or anything like that to share. Hopefully, I'll be joining all of you awesome already published writers sometime in the next year, maybe.
Maybe. Bro.
I'm thinking between beta readers and getting a professional editor, I think I can be done with this story in 2019.
There you go. Which reminds me, speaking of 2019, next week live stream is not going to be a write-in. This is actually the last write-in for 2018. Because next live stream, next Sunday, is our bi-monthly goals wrap-up and talking about the new year.
Woohoo!
So
new goals.
Yep.
Yeah, so if anybody wants to get on and brag about what you're going to be working on in 2019, Sky is always happy to have more people on her feed.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. If you guys want to join live, just let me know. Send me a message in Facebook. I used to join Alina's live streams on Saturdays, except for I'm never awake during her live streams anymore, and I just have to rewatch them later. And then Sarah has hers on Friday evenings, and I'm always at work. It makes me sad. I want to try to all these live streams, and I can't. I have to watch them after they're done. Oh, I feel so bad. I feel so bad. I'm a horrible person. It's all good. But, yes. So, normally, I do tag videos every other Tuesday. And every other kind of video you can think of on Thursdays. And then I do my live streams on Sundays. However, for the rest of the year, because since I'm still getting used to this Mac and all the other programs that come with it, there's no more videos for the rest of this year except for live streams, which are on Sundays. And then next Sunday is the last Sunday in 2018, and it's going to be our bi-monthly goals video. So feel free to join us. For those who don't know, I'm Sky, right under the name SD Haggis, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.